So the first thing you need to do when you're signing up for a shift is to sign up to register as a volunteer. So you'll get this link that will send you towards the sign up form. Then just pop in your details. You'll be asked to if you're going to be doing delivery shifts or kitchen shifts or cleaning shifts. So so you'll just kind of fill it out with all the info, and then the last thing you'll be asked to do on this form is to read the volunteer liability release and just tick to that. So once that's done, you can then sign up for a shift. So you'll get the link for the delivery shifts schedule, and once that's all loaded up, it might take a wee while, this is the delivery schedule. So the days are the rows, so you've got the date on the left hand column. So we do it on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays is pretty much all we do it on right now. And then you'll see the coordinator for the day, pops the details in there, and then you get to pop your details on whichever route that you'd be up for doing. So the way you do that is you click in the box, so the form that you filled out, there is an option to put your unique public name. So this unique public name is what you'll be actually filling out in the box here. So my unique public name is Rick, and then you can pop in on the vehicle what you'll be going. So whether it's bike, car, motorbike, cargo bike, stuff like that, just pop that in there. So what we'll do is when the actual shift comes around, we might move everyone's names around to make sure the bikes get the easiest and shortest route and make sure the cars do the longer routes, but normally it doesn't change too much. And if you've got someone else coming with you, say a buddy, you can pop their name underneath yours in the next box underneath that. If you're on bike, it doesn't matter if the buddy is in the same household as you or not, because you're outside anyway. But if you're traveling in a car, it's best if your rider buddy is from the same household as you. Okay, so if you're coming from Newmarket Road, so this is Newmarket Road here, you want to go down. There's Wesley Methodist Church, and then down that street is Short Street. So there's Wesley Methodist Church. You want to head down Short Street, and then just before you get to the two bus stops either side of the road, you want to turn left down New Square. So there's New Square, and this heads up from Short Street up towards the Grafton Centre and Burley Street. Okay, then you come along New Square, around this corner, and onto Fair Street, and there's the lock-on up ahead, the big orange building. So this lane is one way for cars, so this is the way you've got to go if you're in a car or a van or a bike or a motorbike or something, but bicycles can head up from Newmarket Road straight onto Fair Street that direction, and that's alright. So when you get to the lock-on, if cars or vans and stuff can wait out on this street, so it is double yellow lines, but when it gets late at night, that's alright to kind of hang around on the street in your car if you're waiting in it. And when you get here, if you just either drop a message in the chat or send a message to one of the delivery coordinators for the night, and we'll make sure we bring the bag out from the lock-on to you waiting in the street. Bicycles, if you come to this from the lock-on, if you come down the street past the pink fridges, you can wheel your bike up here and then just ring the doorbell. This is our door here, so just ring the doorbell and we can let you in there. So if you're on bicycle, you can bring your bicycle in if you don't want to wait outside or it's freezing cold, but if you're happy to wait outside just around here, that's also fantastic. Okay, so this is an example route card, like the one you'll be given on each of the nights, so yours will just be printed out. So at the top we've got the tables. It's got all the addresses and details of the clients on it. So in the first column we've got their names, and then we've got the phone numbers. You only need to use the phone numbers unless maybe you can't get hold of them by knocking on their door, or maybe you need them to come down and open up a gate or something. Then you've got the addresses and the plus code. So plus codes work a bit like addresses. So if you type the plus code into your Google Maps or something, it will give an exact pin location of where their front door is, or where you need to drop it off to. Then we have the allergies. So this one's quite important. So there might be allergies on here like nuts or gluten or onions or something like that. Most of our meals don't contain allergens, so that's all right. But when they do, we'll tell you about it. So if a meal contains gluten or wheat, there will be a specific portion or portions in the bag for the people who have gluten and wheat allergies, and they'll say them on the top, maybe no wheat or no gluten. So yeah, just make sure those are the ones that get handed to the people with the gluten or wheat intolerances or any allergies really. Then we've got the actual portion numbers column. So there's one for Tuesday, one for Thursday, one for Sunday. So those are 3 days that we deliver food on. So the reason why we have different columns is that some people have different amounts of portions on different days. So as you can see here that these people have the same amount of portions on each of the days. Sometimes people don't have any portions on one of the days. You just got to make sure before you head off to the next person that they've actually got a portion that needs delivered. So if they have got a 0, like Steve does in this route card, there's no point going to his door because there's nothing to drop off with them. And then the last column there is notes. So it's also great to just check the notes before you head off there as well. So it might be things like rough sleeper, it might be where you're going to find them, how you actually get to their door. It might be like use the side door. There's instructions there about where to leave the food. Yeah. So the order that these are put in from like Bob, Susan, John, Carol, Steve, Karen. So that is the order that we put them in. That makes the shortest route. So that's the quickest route is if you go, first row, then second row, then third row, then fourth row, and that'll be the shortest and fastest route, hopefully. So down the bottom of the route card, we've got information about the actual shift. So we've got, it says central there because it's the central route. It's got we'll write on there the name of the person who's doing the route, so it's got Jeff, and also what vehicle they're in, and then the number circled, that's the total number of portions that's going to be in the bag. So we'll count that and double count that before you get the bag, hopefully, so that shouldn't be an issue at all. So right in the middle we've got a massive QR code, and there's also a link next to the QR code, and there's a passcode. So this is to do with the web app that some of our volunteers have made up for us. And what you can do is you can scan the QR code to access the web app, or you can just type in the address there that's next to it. And the passcode there, MHAS, that passcode, it changes every day and it's different for different routes, but that's where your passcode will be to log into the web app and access all the details and the map and the route card and stuff online as well. Okay, so as an alternative to the route card, as in the paper route card, we also have an app that some of our volunteers have amazingly made. So the way you get onto this app, so you get onto it through the internet. You don't have to download anything. So you go into your internet browser, you post in the link that we will share in the chat. So that's the link there, and then it will load you up into the app. So then you put in a password. So the password is specific for the day and the route you do. So I'll just put in today's password. Oops. There we go. So yeah, every day the password will be a different one to the one previously. So this is an example of what it will look like. So it's got the top there with the date and the route that you're doing. So this one's for Central for the 26th, which is today. And then it's got each of the orders. So they should be in order from the first one, then you just do the second one, the third one, like that. So it's got the name, the address there, it's also got the plus code up in the little corner, and then it's got the portions in the little green box there. And then there's an option to call if you don't get a response at the door. And then there's also a button you can press on which goes to your Google Maps pin. So this will load up a wee pin on Google Maps, which uses the plus code and should point you right to the front door. So, I mean, you don't have to use this, of course. We're still going to give you a paper route card that you can follow instead, but this should just make it easier for people who are doing deliveries by themselves. So, yep, so it will load up the coordinates. I think you just tap directions. And there you go. There's your next place to go to. And then you can just pop back onto the app every time you finish off one order and then go on to the next. Also, one thing it says, it isn't on here right now because none of these people have allergies, but it also says the allergies and the notes underneath the portions. So underneath Susan, it's got 2 portions and it says rough sleeper. And it'll also say the allergies in bright red if they have any allergies. So these are the tubs that the food comes in. All the portions are pretty much exactly the same, apart from the ones that have got allergies inside them. And these are the bags that you will be delivering food from, all delivery ones. So some of them have wee shelves in them, some of them are just single bags. Just open up like that. Handles on them. So the way that we will pass them to you pointing up, so try not to flip them over sideways because this food can spill. Sometimes we don't use these pots, sometimes we use the cheaper ones that don't hold liquid as well. So just try and keep the bag up the right way that we pass it to you. And these are the trays that we use, they're mushroom trays. So what we would ask you to do is that when you have got a delivery to do, if you pop the tray at their door like that, you pop their food in it like that, and then you're like, knock the door, knock, and then if you just step back and allow them to take the food out of it, then when they shut the door again, you can take the tray back. It just means, minimizing contact as much as we can with our clients. So literally all that they're touching is the pots, and that's all that you're touching as well, pretty much. So one last thing is about if somebody isn't in. So if someone isn't in at the address and you phone them up, get any answer, just pop onto the CCK deliveries chat, whether it's on WhatsApp or Signal, and just drop a message. Just be like, oh no app, 67 hair close or something. And there we go. That's all you can do. Just pop unless there's a specific instructions in the notes to say that, leave the food at the door. Even if there's no answer, just pop the food back in the bag and then head on to the next address. Then at the end of the shift, if you bring the bag back to the lock-on with any of the spare portions inside it, and then, that's great. And then you can get food yourself if you want any, get some drinks. That's about it. Final thing in this video is gloves and masks. So if you can put a mask on when you're dealing with clients, that would be great, and also gloves as well. So if you've got disposable gloves, we have a few disposable gloves, we might be able to give them to you. Also hand sanitizer in between every order, that would be great. Just keep pretty, as COVID safe as you can. Some of these people are very vulnerable and need our help quite a lot. And also sometimes, these people haven't seen anyone apart from the delivery drivers. So it's really fantastic just to maybe check up on them, be like, hey, how you doing? Just see if they want meals continuing. That's about it. We've had, some people ask if we can just take the rubbish at the end of the road. If you're able to do that, that'd be amazing. Just try and be as cheery and as nice as possible. That's about it. Doing deliveries for CCK is honestly one of the most rewarding things you can actually do to kind of help out. Just trying to enjoy it as much as you can. And thank you for signing up.